So now we're going to take just a few minutes and do a brief tour of Edgewood Express, which is our main information site here at Edgewood College, and you'll be using it frequently here as a student, so thought it would be useful to just kind of walk through it and point out some useful links and resources. So the first thing you'll want to do is to get to Edgewood Express, and you'll notice the link over here which says express.edgewood.edu, which is the main link here. So if you go ahead and type that into your browser, you should be able to pull up Edgewood Express, which looks like this. The next thing you'll want to do is enter your username and password. Now, if you don't know what that is, when you received your acceptance letter, you should have received some information about setting up a username and password. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do that, and you'll get your username and password. And you'll notice here for your username, in most cases, it's just the first letter of your first name and then your last name, and then you'll just enter the username that you've set up for yourself, and then push log in here. And then you'll notice you're into the site here. The next thing you'll notice, now my page looks a little bit different. It's generally like yours, so kind of ignore these pages here. But you'll see this big area here that says, who are you? What you'll want to do is click on current students, because this will give you the view with links that are most relevant to you. So I'll go ahead and do that. And that will bring us to the Student Resources section of Edgewood Express. And the next thing you'll want to do, because our web team is doing some experimenting with links, you're not seeing all of the useful links for you, so you'll want to go ahead and click on this tab here, Students, and that will expand all of these links that are really important for you. And I'm just going to review them very, very briefly with you. So under student tools, there's a long list of variety of tools for you. It has the link to Edgewood Express, which is a little funny because you're already in Edgewood Express. It has a link to Blackboard, which is the content management site that your instructors and faculty will be using to communicate with you, post assignments, post syllabi, that kind of thing. So I'll link there for you, as well as under quick links. There's also the directory, so if you need to find a faculty or staff name, you could use that. Email, there's a link to that. We do use Microsoft 365, and you'll use your same username and password that you use to enter Edgewood College Express to access your email. I'm just going to kind of buzz through some of this. We won't go through all of it just because our time is limited, right? So password reset tool. This is useful for you if you ever forget your password. It might be useful just to click on it and save it as a link, because the tricky thing is you'll actually need your username and password to view these links. So maybe clicking on it, saving it as a link, and then if you happen to forget your password, then you have a link to it. Again, there's just some more resources for students. TAC here is our Technical Assistance Center. Now, if you have any additional problems with logging in or anything sort of technology-wise that you need help with on campus, you'll want to click on this area here, and that will give you some contact information for our staff with the Technical Assistance Center. So that kind of goes over the important things under student tools. There's some things here, events if you want to know what's happening at the college or interested, or if you're a student employee, you would look at these sections right here, a little less relevant for us. The next sort of important section here is student services, and we do have a separate page on our orientation site that goes into what these student services are in more detail, but there are direct links to all of our student services. And as an Edgewood College student, although you'll mostly be taking classes here at Deming Way, you do have access to all of our student services, most of which are based on the Monroe Street campus. So we have our bookstore there. Advising, you'll actually meet with me here at Deming Way, so that you can kind of ignore there. There's career services. Again, that's something I can help you out with and connect you to. Parking and transportation, so if you ever need to park on the main campus and have questions about that. Actually, Deb at our front desk would be a good person to ask about that. Personal counseling. So if you're in need of any mental health services beyond, just conversation that you and I can have, we can certainly connect you to those resources, and then just a variety of other sort of student-centered resources there for you. And then finally, we have Edgewood Central here. So this is a really important area. It's kind of the nuts and bolts of, what do I owe? Who do I owe? What classes am I taking? When am I taking them? A really important area for you. So this first link, courses and registration, will be where you register for your courses. If you want more information about financial aid, you would be clicking here. Your schedule, that will give you schedules term by term that you can print out. I'll show you the class that your course is in, your instructor, the day of the week, the time it's held, so that's pretty useful for you. And then, pay my bill, for those of you that are paying with that method, will be able to click on that and get some more information. And then should you need transcripts, you would click that link as well. So that kind of goes over the main links in this section. I'll scroll down and show you what else is here, and then we'll go to some of the main links on the left-hand side. So first, the bottom side. This automatically generates some important and interesting dates for you. So the upcoming deadlines are more about registration. So this you'll see, for example, Monday the 23rd, we know it's the last day to drop Term B courses and receive 100% refund. So that's an important date for you, and just a reminder from our registrar's office and those dates are included there under important deadlines. If you go to the college calendar, this section is more about events that are happening on campus. So you'll notice there's some internship fairs, a workshop, that kind of thing. There's lots and lots of events that are happening both on the Demingway campus and Monroe Street. I'd encourage you to just kind of explore the college calendar and make use of all of the great events that are hosted here at Edgewood. And then if you kind of keep scrolling down here, again, some things that are maybe less greatly important but interesting. So if you wanted to submit an event, you could here order official transcripts. If you were working work study, you would access that information here. And then Wingrove Weekly is more student-centered news, and so again, more events hosted on campus that could be useful for you. So feel free to review those posts here as well. So now I'm going to scroll up and we're going to go to the front view that we reviewed before. And I want to show you some really important things under quick links. So let's go here to my financial aid so you can kind of get a sense of what that looks like. So for those of you using financial aid, there's a lot of great information here. You can look at your award letter, you can look at any scholarships you're receiving, or you can look at your loans and that information as well. It looks like there's some work sheets and other supplemental information that you might be able to use. So again, lots of information. Feel free to click. There's, information about counseling and what satisfactory academic progress means. So again, for those of you using financial aid, feel free to click there as well. And you'll notice that when I'm on financial aid here, there's this arrow here. So often if you find an arrow here, it means that there's lots of subheadings and specific information under this category. So if I go to helpful information, it kind of zooms in to what I want to look at. So you notice the main page had all of the information. So these subheaders just give you just the information you're looking for. So I just want to look at scholarships. I click scholarships. It only gives me information about scholarships. So if you don't want to see the whole page, it's just a nice way to kind of zoom into the resources you're most interested in looking at. The other link up here for you that's really important, I just clicked on it, was courses and registration. So we'll be walking through the process together, so I won't go into this in great detail. I'll go through it quite quickly, but at least you'll get a reminder. So after our meeting together, if you forget the registration process, I do have a PDF guide for you, but here's a quick reminder on the process. So you'll click on courses and registration. You'll scroll down to course search. You'll see, and you'll just click course search. And then you'll notice it'll come up with this search criteria. What you'll want to do is just change it to the term you're interested in enrolling in. So if I'm looking at Fall 27 Term B, just change it to Fall 27 Term B. There, I'll do that again. And then forget all of this information here because we have a limited number of classes in the college completion program. There's no need to further sort of sort any of these classes. Just select the term, scroll down, and then you're going to hit the search button right here. And that's going to bring up all the classes that are available for you here at the college completion program. Now I don't have this option, but what you'll have, and when you see it, is a little checkbox here where you can check that box, scroll down, and there'll be a little submit button here that you'll click submit and be able to add courses one by one that way. And let's say you're done with Term B, you wanted to move on to Term C. It doesn't have any courses loaded, but I'll show you the process. So we could click Term C, we could click search, and that'll bring up all the courses in your next term that you can register for. So again, I realize we're going through this process really quick with registration. We'll get through it in more detail when we meet together. And then the last area I wanted to show you is this quick links area. So you'll notice it has the two big ones to kind of pay attention to are the email. So I'll just go to that one as well. Forgive this, I have a lot of people who use my computer to email, so you'll see all of these different accounts, but you'll want to just, in yours, you'll get an ask for your username and password. For your username, you will need to use your full Edgewood .edu address. So instead of just putting Steen, like I did with Edgewood Express, for your email, I would put steen at edgewood.edu, and then for the password, I would use the same password that I used for my Edgewood Express. And then kind of going back here, we have Blackboard. Again, you would log into that, use just your username, you don't need your email, just your username and password that we've used in all of the other situations, and that would get you into your Blackboard where you can view a lot of different resources, the most important being what your courses are and what your instructors are sharing with you. And we'll actually log in the Blackboard together when we meet. So that is a very quick tour of Edgewood College Express. I hope it was helpful for you. Again, I'll have a survey at the end of this site, so if you have any suggestions on how to make this brief tour better, please let me know. Otherwise, happy using Edgewood College Express.